This Saturday marks 20 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks. Among those who died that day was a 20-year-old from San Diego. Welcome back. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Jesse Pagan. Carlo has the night off. Deora Bodley's mother is in Pennsylvania tonight ahead of this weekend's ceremony at the Flight 93 National Memorial. News 8's Steve Price talked with her before she left about how she honors her daughter and the others on Flight 93 to this day.
Deora Bodley wasn't scheduled to be on Flight 93, but the Jolla Country day grad arrived at the airport early, and she got on as a standby passenger. Over the past 20 years, Deora's mom has worked tirelessly to make sure that her daughter and the other heroes on that plane are never forgotten.
Deora was just a lively gal, young girl, smart, keep her busy, and she was happy.
Deora was just 20 years old, the youngest passenger on United Flight 93.
I can remember her death, September the 11th, right now, as if it were just yesterday. It's that vivid for me.
Debbie Borza says her daughter was heading back to college after visiting a friend, and it was that friend who called her in tears.
She knew that Deora was on that plane. I didn't know. I thought she was on the next flight out, her scheduled flight.
Dazed, Debbie left her La Jolla office and went to the church across the street. As she was down on her knees praying for answers, her cell phone rang.
Is this Debbie Borza? Yes, it is. Hello, my name is Sharon DeWitt. I'm with United, and I'm sorry to inform you. And that's all I heard. And then I was just screaming and crying in the church.
The explosion shook the house clear over here.
Flight 93 had been hijacked by terrorists. After being taken hostage, the passengers discovered 3 other planes hijacked that morning had been flown into the World Trade Center towers and the Pentagon.
I think they figured out it wasn't going to be that kind of plane where it's going to land and they're going to ask for some kind of demands or something. They knew it wasn't that.
Many believe the hijackers intended to fly the plane into the U.S. Capitol, which was only about 20 minutes away. But thanks to the heroic efforts of the passengers on board, that plan failed. The passengers fought back, and as they tried to regain control of the aircraft, the terrorists, realizing their original plan had been foiled, made the decision to crash the plane.
I had the opportunity to listen to the cockpit recorder. I heard the struggle. One of the passengers had his hands on the wheel of that plane. They just ran out of room in the sky, and they crashed doing over 500 miles an hour.
The plane went down in a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The impact killed everyone on board. But 20 years later, their memories live on, in large part thanks to Debbie, who has devoted her life since that horrific day to honoring Flight 93's 40 passengers and crew members.
They fought, and that's what I think makes, a lot of the family members, very proud of their loved one on that plane. They just took it upon themselves, and that's heroic.
Debbie was instrumental in making the Flight 93 National Memorial a reality. It sits on the field where the plane went down and offers visitors the opportunity to learn about the passengers on board.
Deora Frances Bodley.
And every year on September 11th, their names are read aloud here during an emotional and inspiring ceremony. For Debbie, this is what's always been important, refusing to let anger and hatred toward the hijackers rule her life, instead focusing on the heroes that day and making Deora proud. And while she accepts that her oldest daughter is gone, that will never make the pain of losing her any easier to live with.
This business of children dying before parents, when I stand in front of the big guy, we'll have a talk about that.
Steve Price, News 8.